come the revs for race 1 of the Tyrepower Tasmania Super 440 with Mostert and Di Pasquale that lead us away on the short run down to turn number 1. Give it to Di Pasquale as he moves into the first set of turns in the D-Walt Chevy Camaro and leads us over the bridge. Mostert tucks in behind. Reynolds is next. Heimgartner and Kostecki, but they're all building up behind. They're still trying to generate heat into these Dunlop tyres.
Great start by Anton Di Pasquale from the outside of the front row. Launched beautifully, as did his teammate Dave Reynolds from the outside of the second row. They both jumped a pair of Toyotas to go first and third. Mostert settling into second. Do we all get through the hairpin on this first lap? It looks like we did, as the Tickford cars battle it out down the back straight.
Will Brown locks in the toe behind the 2 Tickford cars through the fast right-hand sweeper up to 265 kilometres an hour at the top of 6th gear, back to third into this left-hander that brings us back towards the start-finish line at the end of lap number 1. So Di Pasquale, that won under lights in Sydney, will lead the first lap from Mostert. Reynolds, who topped the timesheets yesterday, Heimgartner, Kostecki and Brock Feeney 6th.
Clean first lap. Had to look very hard to see if there was actually any panel rubbing, let alone any sort of skirmishing going on down here at the hairpin for the first time. So you can see Mostert trying to get up the inside of Di Pasquale, turning tighter, trying to get up the inside to get the side draft as they make their way down the back straight. But Di Pasquale using the high line and keeping the momentum up to keep the race lead. Bit of a gap forming back to Reynolds in second or third. Oh, there's contact there.
Gets it done. He might lose 2 spots because here comes his teammate forced up on the curb. He bumps into Di Pasquale. And here comes Heimgartner. What in a slice of the action here. The R&J's Batteries Toyota Supra taking no for an answer. We go into lap 3.
Di Pasquale hustled out of it. Heimgartner was never going to yield there. He's always going to have the high ground on the inside. Di Pasquale tried to fight it. So within the corners of 3 corners, Di Pasquale goes from the lead back to 5th.
Is that a hint of sunshine we're seeing at turn 5? The first time we've seen it all day here at Symmons Plains. Down into turn 6 as we work lap 8 of 50. Mostert from Reynolds, Kostecki, Heimgartner and Di Pasquale are your top 5 with Feeney, Wood, Cameron Hill, Cameron Waters and Tom Randall all inside the top 10.
Matt Payne's been our biggest mover so far, up 6 positions from his qualifying spot. So we saw that hectic battle that Payne was having with Job Stewart, Jackson Walls and the like as he was making his way through the field. So Payne up 6 spots. Macaulay Jones down 4 spots. So a game of snakes and ladders that is Supercars racing. Sometimes it makes it work for you. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. You just find your way going backwards.
2 rookies in the championship leading this pack with Walls and Stewart. Behind is Golding. Here's Kai Allen, the repaired number 26 Ford Mustang for Grove Racing. Round the outside of the Summit leasing car this weekend for Macaulay Jones, a partnership that goes back 2 decades at BJR. Golding on the inside now, Job Stewart, one of 2 drivers in the field from Mount Gambier in South Australia.
Current balance is mode 5.
Yeah, copy, understood, mate. Mode 5, mode 5.
Stewards have issued a 15-second time penalty to car 26 for a driving infringement.
A 15-second time penalty to car 26.
So Kai Allen, you mentioned, Matt Nolte, that the front of his car looked like it had been remodelled, and the stewards agreed with you. So they feel that he was the man responsible for that incident down here at turn 2. Oh, Jackson Wall's a little bit wide at 2 and finds himself out on the curb and in the grass.
It's a tough penalty, isn't it, for Allen, who's 12 seconds away from the leaders anyway. Remember, there's a pit stop still to come, a compulsory pit stop with just 2 rattle guns that can be used during today's sprint races effectively. So go back to the leaders. Half a second is the margin between Mostert and Reynolds. Into turn 6 as we work lap 13. Hell of a run to turn 1 would have been back in the day.
Yeah, she would have been on the hairpin. Would have been. So here's Brown trying to get up the inside of Thomas Randall. Matt Payne trying to follow him through. So Brown has done the job now. He's able to stay on the inside of Thomas Randall. And he'll head around the outside of the sweep. Here comes Matt Payne, so he's going to get in the queue as well behind Will Brown. So potentially Randall could lose 2 spots here if Payne's able to get up the inside and follow Will Brown through.
Behind is Ojeda, who had his best run the season so far. He elects to go into pit lane. The Premier Racing team waiting for him. And so too, Di Pasquale, who's in the lane. DeWalt Chevy Camaro. Strong showing from both Team 18 cars so far in the Tyrepower Tasmania Super 440.
Okay, mate, what are you thinking? Rears or sides? Rears or sides?
Rears for Anton Di Pasquale. A little bit slow getting the left rear off for Di Pasquale. And what you need to be a bit careful of here, strategy-wise, is the overcut. His car's staying on track on a hot tyre and then going past the car that's on a cold tyre coming out of pit lane. This battle for second and third. Andre Heimgartner ranging up as well. Reynolds really wide at the hairpin. Kostecki nice and tight. And he will get this move done because he's able to stay side by side with Reynolds. He'll hang around the outside and then take the position down in the braking zone at turn 6.
Got ourselves a good old-fashioned Simmons Plains drag race with a right-hander. Kostecki has the better line down here to turn number 6. Also, Job Stewart been given 5 seconds for that driving infringement down at turn 2. So busy at race control as Reynolds elects to go stage right into the pits. In the Snowy River Caravan Chevy Camaro. Will Brown will move up a couple of positions. We start to cycle our way through the pit stop. Lap 19 in race 14 of the championship. The 100th race for the Gen 3 cars here today in Tasmania.
Not surprised to see Reynolds come in, given how lively his car was in the rear. And not surprised that they take rears for that car as well to try and settle it down. But he's got 32 laps to do in this one, and if he burnt the tyres up in 18, then that's a much longer run home for David Reynolds. So he'll need to manage this tyre a bit more carefully, which is easier to do. See what they've done here at Team 18. They've bought themselves nice, clear racetrack, not only for Dave Reynolds, but for his teammate here in Anton Di Pasquale. The only question is, have they bought that nice, clear racetrack, but done it too early, and they could run out of tyres late in the second stint. Randall doesn't look like he's got the speed in this one, does he? Struggling. Dropped off the rear bumper of the Will Brown, Matt Payne battle. Now coming under pressure from James Golding and Kai Allen in their fellow Mustang runners. Here comes Golding having a look up the inside. It was a long way back. Does he actually get it stopped? Yes, he does. Now Kai Allen trying to get up the inside as well. Probably a little bit more hesitant now, given he's already got one penalty hanging over his head. We thought it best not to annoy the headmaster too much more today.
Mostert in pit lane. As we're 28 laps remaining.
Line yourself up the board. At this point in time, you're the only car in the lane, so when it drops, you want to go.
So all great information for Chaz. Pulls up on his mark. So they're doing working side on Chaz Mostert's car. Great stop by the Walkinshaw TWG guys. The reason that Mostert came to the lane on the previous lap, David Reynolds was 0.3 of a second faster than our race leader. And here comes Reynolds now through turn 6 and 7. Mostert will get out in front, but don't forget he's on 2 cold tyres, getting them up to speed, whereas Reynolds has had a couple of laps to get his rears up to temperature.
Mostert cycles the car from left to right to generate heat in the tyres, so that's put him back ahead of Reynolds. With Kostecki now going to the lead. Just 6 cars have pitted so far.
Andre behind you. You go behind Andre. Go, 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 go.
Oh, Andre's jumped him. So Brad Jones Racing do it again in pit lane. Andre Heimgartner jumps what was our race leader in Brodie Kostecki. Here comes Mostert, our corrected race leader, will resume his position at the front of the field. Dave Reynolds, he was second before the pit stop cycle. He resumes that position. And Andre Heimgartner gets one back on Brodie Kostecki. Feeney came in later for 4 and he used that advantage. Now here comes Payne, getting back on those fresh rear tyres after going super long in the first stint. Got the drive traction. Look at it moving around as they go side by side through turn 6. We call it a bull ring. She was a bucking bull there, the Penrite Racing Mustang. Payne gets the job done.
Got to be brave at those speeds on the outside here at Simmons Plains. Through to another lap. Now the field is completely cycled with Job Stewart in the pits right now. So Mostert leading by 4 seconds. Back to Reynolds, Kostecki, Heimgartner and Feeney are the top 5. Behind is Di Pasquale, Cameron Hill, Jaden Ojeda, Zach Bates and Matt Payne up into 10th from 19th on the grid.
Here comes Will Brown on Cam Waters. Remember, Brown took 4 tyres as well. Waters looks a little bit wounded here. Doesn't have the speed of the other guys right now. And Brown, that was easy.
Mate, there's a chance that we could catch the leaders here. Keep it up.
Yeah.
So Martin Short cheerleading there. That's the sports psychology bit of a race engineer that you need to be. Letting your driver know what is possible. As Kostecki trying to have a look at Dave Reynolds. He wants to get past Reynolds before Feeney gets to him, does Kostecki. But the car's been more thirsty this weekend because the pace is up. Cars are faster this weekend. And in these cooler conditions, the cars do tend to run a little bit richer. They need a bit more drink of fuel because they make a bit more power in the cooler conditions. Some of Greg Murphy's closest mates watching on in the back paddock.
Not even aware there's a car race going on the other side of the fence, are they? Cool shots from the drone cam to look back at Kostecki now. So starting to wind this race down inside the final 10 laps. David Reynolds with Kostecki right on the tail here at turn 2. While Mostert's out to nearly 5 seconds.
Have a go at Feeney though. He needs to get this done quickly. If he wants to go and get Mostert, he needs to get past Kostecki quickly. And we know Kostecki's not going to give it up easily. So here comes Feeney. He's not able to get to the inside of the hairpin. Kostecki not letting him have it. And actually lost a little bit of ground there on that lap, did Feeney. So Reynolds safe at the moment from Kostecki. What does the toe look like as they go down the back straight? Kostecki ranging up. Does he lunge? Does he have a big send at the end of the back straight here? Thinks better of it. Reynolds, a half block up the inside. Just letting Kostecki know, I'll defend if I have to. Oh, here we go, Feeney. Is he going to get it done over the hump here? Kostecki trying to hang him out wide. The wider you can hang him there, the more that the tail gets happy over the hump there. So it was pretty ambitious by Feeney, thinking you're going to get up the inside of Brodie Kostecki at turn 2, because you have to go around the outside at turn 1, and that's pretty brave.
Right on the edge of out of control, wasn't it? Riding that hump towards turn 2, and Heimgartner suddenly back in this as he runs the high line at the turn 4 hairpin, trying to stay in touch with the 3 cars ahead to start to head towards the end of race 14 of the championship.
You can already see the body language of the Red Bull Ampol Mustang doesn't look as aggressive as it was when he first got to the rear bumper of Brodie Kostecki. There's no doubt he's still got a pace advantage, Brock Feeney, over Kostecki. But Kostecki's been able to slow the momentum from Brock Feeney with that extra speed, taking 4 tyres at the pit stop.
Shows you the margins, 5.8 seconds first to second, but this is the battle we've been focused on. Kostecki and Feeney, with Heimgartner still running fifth. Di Pasquale, Cameron Hill, Matt Payne, today's big mover from 19th up into 8th, and Will Brown. Jaden Ojeda, target for his best result for Premier Racing in position 10.
4.5 laps to go in this one. Now, you can see there, see the difference. Kostecki did not feel that there was any threat from Brock Feeney on that lap, so he could run it higher up the hairpin because he knows that Feeney's got an advantage if he can get close and turn down tighter at the hairpin. So Kostecki doing a nice job, being very strategic where he places his car to his own advantage and clearly wanting to create any sort of disadvantage he can to Feeney as he follows.
Been a fascinating battle to watch between these two.
Looks to me now like Kostecki's actually got better drive traction off the hairpin. So as the tyre advantage for Brock Feeney's normalised, he certainly carries more entry speed, and that's the front grip from those fresher front tyres. But Kostecki able to square off the hairpin and get off there nicely, which protects him in the braking zone here at turn 6. 1 to go.
So Mostert setting sail for home on this, the final lap. A clean affair. There's been some bump and grind. There's been some aggression. No doubt there's been some stress between these two, but not for this guy, who's just disappeared down the road by nearly 6 seconds and has clean track behind and in front. The reigning champ has just a couple of turns remaining.
So Mostert clear in first, doing this one nicely, but a great drive by Mostert, managed the race beautifully at the front of the field. It didn't finish nicely for him in New Zealand, but it absolutely is starting beautifully here in Tasmania.
He's had a chance to regroup since Ruapuna. He came back and stamped his authority in Boost Mobile qualifying earlier today. And the reigning champ greets the checkered flag. Chaz Mostert wins here in Tasmania in race 14 of the championship.
Great job, Dave Reynolds. He looked vulnerable early, looked like he was in trouble with tyres, but hung on nicely to second, and that battle between Brodie Kostecki and Brock Feeney ultimately ends up in the favour of Brodie Kostecki. Chaz Mostert, oblivious to all that was going on behind him. He finished that race 5.5 seconds up the road. Great return to form for this man, Dave Reynolds. He needed that one. And it's great to see him capitalise on what is a fast car that they have at Team 18 so far this weekend. But Mostert Did it beautifully.